So the big album hit, How You Remind Me, came out, and it blew up in the way that very few songs do. Those are the rare hits that just take you to the top. And that'll be fun for the mic. And the hate came. How did it affect you, not just you personally, because you're a pretty strong-willed guy, but how did it affect your family? And I don't just mean Chad, but your wives, and more importantly, your parents, and eventually your kids.
And eventually my kids. Yeah. Going all the way back to when it first began and became sort of not just, a writer taking cheap pot shots, but it became kind of a trend and kind of,
cultural phenomenon.
Yeah. It started to become sort of like a almost a constant, and it hurt, it really did hurt because, when you begin this sort of journey, there's sort of this understanding that you're probably not going to make it, and because you're just not, like, people don't make it, in music. Like they just, it's very, very uphill.
The odds are so stacked against everybody. And that was even before the music bottom fell out of the music industry with Napster and
exactly.
so forth.
You're at best fighting from the bottom. You're probably, most likely embarking on the journey of a very expensive hobby that you're going to be paying off as a mortgage when it doesn't work out. But everybody's going to want to get their money back, So when you're doing that, everybody's behind you and they're pulling for you and cheering for you. When you're at your most hopeless, you're effectively homeless. You're poor, you're living consistently on the kindness of others. Like we had more home cooked meals out there, from just kind people than I could even explain to you, So you're very much almost like a charity case in the beginning, and people.
It took a while I think it took much longer for the turning point than people would realize for your band. You were effectively poor for much longer.
Much longer. Probably the first 6-7 years of Nickelback, we were completely living out of the back of a van, literally. And there is a certain sort of like appeal for people to get behind that and cheer for that and spur that on. And there's a real camaraderie amongst the fans, and because it's their secret, right? It's the thing that nobody else knows about. It's a cause. Yeah, cause celeb. They're behind this thing, and it's only when everybody else figures it out that the bitterness begins, because it goes from, hey, this is, everybody should listen to this. This is this underground thing. They're doing really great, but nobody knows about it yet, to, you
sold out.
Well, and there's that middle phase where it's like, yeah, everybody get in, everybody check it out. This is awesome. And then there's the part where, well, I knew them before everybody else did. I knew them when they were cool, and then you're not cool.
Oh my
anymore.
God, they went so commercial, and I can barely listen to them anymore. I mean, oh God, that song Photograph. Like, I don't even think they like photographs, but they made a song about it. It's like so terrible. Sorry.
No,
you were saying something.
No, but you're not wrong. Like that is the type of sort of, that's kind of the mechanics of the thoughts or feelings of this thing. It's just, everybody personalizes this so much, and it becomes like something, a possession thing that they kind of own us, and they get really bitter when other people find out about it. Like, I've heard stories of bands who, they're like really undergroundy bands. I'm not going to say the name of there's one in particular. I'm not going to say the name of the band, but we don't
want to promote anybody but you right now.
Well, it isn't a promotion, unfortunately, but the lead singer person, like the creative driving force of the band, was like, oh, this is great. I get to, experience this thing and express myself as an artist. And then all of a sudden they start looking out into the audience, and they start to see people in the audience that they don't think they like. Mm-hmm. They see people out there in the audience, and they're like, oh, that's those jock fucks that used to, shove me in a dumpster or like be mean. I don't want to, I don't want jocks to like my band. And then they start hating their own music because they become widely popular, and it's not just the nerds and the outcasts that like them anymore. It turns out lots of people like them. And there's this kind of this odd sort of disconnect between like who should like a band. Like I think it's idiotic.
And it's also because music tends to be a very personal thing, because ultimately what music is effectively, and this is going to sound very pretentious, so I'm going to stick my pinky out while I say it, painting with emotions. And by doing this, if a song can evoke a feeling in you, when you have a feeling, you connect to the source of that emotion. So people connect to bands in a very personal way, even though in reality, complete strangers. But they start building images of who these people should be. And I guess that then ties into the selling out. Right. Or the feeling that you've sold out. And effectively by selling out, what you've really done is you've betrayed our emotions, Mike.
Right. It's not, it's just our relationship is no longer precious with just us. Everybody else knows now. And they're in it too.